Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today is April 30, 2023, and we're getting into the volume 78 of me answering your immigration related questions from your comments. As you can see, I have all of them pulled up here. Before I begin, as always, I'm going to mention I am not an immigration attorney. This is not a legal advice. All the information that I provide in my videos on this channel are directly from official government sources like USCIS and of course the Department of State with their visa bulletin. So let's start with the first one. Looks like from Innocent Burba. He says, very informative video, thanks a lot, you are very welcome. Moving further to Hira Rana. Thank you, by the way, Hira, for being publicly subscribed, appreciate that. Hey sir, please reply, my category is F2A. Priority date is August 2019 and documentarily qualified is in August 2020. When will I get my interview letter? Here, congratulations on being documentarily qualified. Let's open up the visa bulletin and see what's going on, because F2A actually, we got recently, just as of April 2023, visa bulletin update. We noticed that there was an update on the F2A category and it is now showing September 2020. Before it used to show current, which was not a correct, it wasn't correct, it wasn't current. There was some artificial backlog that was accumulated. Artificial, I say artificial because it was accumulated during the pandemic, during the closures due to pandemic. So now it is showing September 2020. That is in final action dates graph A, which is specifically for those who are documentarily qualified. And basically it is showing for, in whatever category the immigrant visa is becoming available. So as of right now, we see that there's about 2.5 years delays from September 2020. That's who is getting the immigrant visas now in F2A. And you are in August 2020. So you are even earlier than that. So your interview literally, your immigrant visa should be already available. But the interview should be scheduled literally anytime now. What I would recommend to do here is you can do two things. You can actually there are three options that you can do. Let's start with the first one. You can submit a public inquiry form with the NVC, and I'll show you how to do that, and everyone who's watching, maybe it will be helpful. So this is the official travel.state.gov, the website of the US Department of State, and you can find this link in the description below of this video for the visa bulletin. Once you open it up, you will see this page right here. We're gonna click on Contact Us right here at the very top of the navigation, not the big one, but the small one right here. Contact Us. I'm gonna open it in a new tab. You'll have this page in front of you. We're gonna click on US Visas Contacts right here. And then we'll scroll down a little bit and you will see in the very first row of this graph, you will see Public Inquiry Form. We're gonna click on that. And right here you will see Public Inquiry Form. Once again, online immigrant visa inquiries only. Click on that. And there you go. You can fill out this form and submit it. Now the second option that you can do is to request an expedited processing. Why? Because you meet all of the requirements that are necessary to request that expedited processing. You are already documentarily qualified, and the immigrant visa, according to the visa bulletin, definitely should be available already for you. I have a separate video on how to do that. Basically, it's just the email address for the NVC's internal whatever, I guess I'm not gonna say department, but maybe the office who specializes in those expedited requests. So you can do that as well and request the expedited processing. And number three option, you can do all three of this. You can do one of them, whichever one works for you best, whichever one is easier. But number three option is that you can call US Embassy where the beneficiary will be going through the interview and actually asking them and saying, hey, I'm documentarily qualified. My immigrant visa should already be available according to the visa bulletin. I wanted to follow up and see approximately when my interview is going to be scheduled. So these are the three options that you can do, but it should be anywhere around the corner. It literally should be anywhere around the corner because, they are giving out these immigrant visas right now for people who were documentarily qualified in September 2020. You're already documentarily qualified in August 2020. All right, let's move on to the next one from So Cheat. Says okay. Moving further to Dennis 24. Dennis, thank you for another question. Hi sir, can you further who's documented qualified in F1 category? I need further qualification on that. Thank you. Of course, Dennis, anytime. So if you are documentarily qualified and you are in F1 category, let's take a look at the visa bulletin and see what's going on. So we're going to look at the final action dates, graph A, which is specifically for those who have been documentarily qualified. We're going to look at F1, and assuming that Dennis is in all chargeability area, not China, not India, not Mexico, not Philippines, but everybody else, all chargeability area, looks like right now the visas are being issued to people that have, been waiting since December 2014, all right? Who have their priority dates since December 2014. So between the documentarily qualified, between the graph A and graph B, if we compare the two, we will see that there is about, let's see, this is December 2014, so roughly just 1 month away, January 2015, about 2 years. So looks like people who have been documentarily qualified as of right now. Again, this graph, it keeps updating. I keep saying it all the time. In the next few months, hopefully all the dates will normalize, because we see them now becoming normalized, and all of these big jumps are happening now. So in the next few months, we will, it will be good when we don't see those big crazy jumps, delays, and something is not moving, something is not updated. Hopefully, that is. Hopefully. We'll see. That's why it's important to stay on top of the visa bulletin and check it every month. Make sure that you know what the dates are. But if we compare the graph A and graph B, documentarily qualified versus the filing dates, the initial priority dates, we will see that there is 2 years difference. 2 years and 1 month. Which means that once you are documentarily qualified, people are roughly waiting in F1 category about 2 years for their immigrant visa to become available and their interview to be scheduled. So with that being said, Dennis, probably Dennis. Where I'm from, we have Dennis, we have Denise, and they're both male names. So 2 years. If you were, let's say, documentarily qualified in, let's say, April 2021. It's been exactly 2 years, so your interview should be very, very soon. If, for example, you were documentarily qualified in April 2022, it means that you have roughly another 1 year to wait for the immigrant visa to become available for you and for the interview to be scheduled. So it depends on when you were documentarily qualified, because after becoming documentarily qualified, at least what we see right now by the visa bulletin numbers that they provide, it's roughly 2 years, specifically for F1 category, that is. All right, Dennis, hopefully I was able to, actually, you know what, I keep forgetting to do this, and if I don't do this now, I will definitely forget to do that later. So let me quickly respond to everybody, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Next question from Swapan Chakma. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name. Please advise me when my petition, Form I-130, petition for alien brother or sister, was submitted in 2012. I was single. In the meantime, I got married and have children, and my petition hasn't approved yet. How could I add them to my petition? How could I update my personal information? Swapan, thank you very much for the question. Excellent question. So I'm assuming that your petition is still with USCIS, because whenever it comes to the F4 force preference category, brothers and sisters of US citizens, and I can personally relate because I do have myself a petition like that waiting, and I'll probably be waiting for a long time, because I filed it just a couple of years ago. So yeah, I got a long wait. But even with you filing it in 2012, let's actually take a look at the visa bulletin. Yeah, so right now it's the priority dates that are just now becoming approved by USCIS and sent to the NVC to become further processed, documentarily qualified, are February 2008, which is about 4 years, 4 more years for you to just move to the next stage. So I'm pretty sure it's still with USCIS. So you would need to contact USCIS and update them. There are a few things that you can do. The first thing, the easiest thing, and I would recommend starting with that, is actually calling them. You probably know their phone number, but for the purposes of this video, for whoever is watching, if this is going to be helpful, I will do that anyway. This is the official USCIS, which stands for U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, government website. Always make sure that you're getting your information from official government sources, and one of the indicators to help you determine that is that .gov. A regular website, regular organization will never be able to get the .gov. So we're gonna go and find here the contact information for, there you go, contact USCIS. I'm gonna open it in a new tab. And let's see, we're gonna scroll down. There has to be, it's all, they always make it really hard to find. And let's see, additions, inquiries, make inquiry based on type of request. No, make an inquiry, submit feedback, visit, access research, report, fraud. Wow, US Contact Center, that's it. Let's click on this right here at the very, on this side. Wow, I think they might have changed something recently. Okay, so we need live assistance. We're gonna click on that. And there we go. Wow. That wasn't easy. So this is the phone number for USCIS. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna post it in my reply, and I will also copy the phone number so that you don't have to bother trying to find this phone number here. And you can call them and you can give them the case number and tell them that, hey, I want to provide an update on my case. Most likely what they will tell you to do, though, is most likely they will tell you to send an update as in a physical form as a mail. So basically you're going to be sending a cover letter saying that, hey, my name is blah, blah, blah. I have this petition. Here's my case number. Here's my information. And here's the update that I want to make to my initial I-130 petition. And then obviously attaching really just, one document, which would be a marriage certificate showing that the update that you're providing is a legitimate update, and providing the evidence for the update. But again, I would still give them a call just in case, because what they can give you is the service center, the address for the service center where the case is being processed, and the specific the office or whatever where they want you to forward that physical cover letter with the update. All right, swap on. Hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if you have any follow-up question, and that goes for everybody else. If you have any follow-up questions, do not hesitate to ask them. The more questions I receive, I'm grateful for more questions. All right, let's move on to the next one from Pi TV. NVC Documentarily Qualified my review, and I'm waiting for my interview, which was about a week ago. I filed for my mom, who is living in Ghana, and how long do you think it will take her to get the IR5 visa? Pi TV, thank you very much for your questions. Congratulations on being documentarily qualified. That's great news. It's a huge milestone. Takes a while for some people. The good news is that because you're filing for your parents, obviously you're a U.S. citizen, because only U.S. citizen can petition for their parents. It's IR, immediate relative visa category, so there is no wait. There is wait associated with becoming documentarily qualified, filing the petitions, waiting for the interviews. But it's not as significant as for someone that is not in that immediate relative category. For me personally, because I had a petition for my parents, for both of my parents, it took 2 months between documentarily qualified and the interview being scheduled. 2 months, pretty much exactly 2 months. And then when they scheduled the interview 30 days in advance. So total between documentarily qualified and the actual interview date where they went and did the interview, roughly 3 months. Pretty much exactly 3 months. One recommendation I would give you is once you get that interview scheduled, you'll have 30 days, yes, but do the medical with the civil surgeon, the whole medical thing, as soon as possible. Your mom, that is, so she goes and does that as soon as possible, before the interview. Basically not waiting for, closer to the interview date to do the medical examination. Because I have actually seen a case where a person did, I think it was like 5 days or maybe 4 or 3 days before the interview, they did this medical examination. And when they went for an interview, they were told that the interview would have to be rescheduled because they did not receive the results of the medical examination on time. So the sooner you do it, the better. All right, so let me do this and we're gonna move on to the next one. From Lonel Jane Legaspi. Hello, sir. It says to my CAC account priority date April 7, 2021, F11 class category. So F11 is children, unmarried children of US citizens over 21. Yes, so that's basically F1. It's a subcategory of first priority category. Philippines. And also USCIS already approved mine and I can open CAC account but can't proceed to payment. And also it will be affecting my application because I have a company child, or it doesn't affect it. Okay, Lonel, so I'll start with the very first. Thank you for the question, by the way. An excellent question. I'll start with the very last one regarding the child. So if the child is on the application, mentioned in the application, then it not going to be affecting anything at all. Child basically will be a derivative beneficiary. Okay, so they will be traveling with you because they're your child. But if they're not on the application, let's say if the petition was filed before the child was born, then you do need definitely to provide an update. And in this case, because USCIS already approved your case and transferred it to NVC, unlike with my previous response to Swap On, where I was telling him to send the update to the USCIS, you would have to provide the update to the NVC. But if they were already initially on the initial application, then you don't have to worry about any of that. Now let's take a look at the second question. Is you waiting, basically you don't have a full access to the portal, and it happens a lot. Once USCIS approves your case, they transfer it to the NVC, and if there is still some time to wait for the availability of the immigrant visa, NVC, they will not give you the full access to the portal. They will give you the case number and the invoice number so that you can log into the portal, but you're not going to be able to pay the fees, fill out the applications, add the affidavit of support, because there is still some time to wait for the availability of the immigrant visa. Now, most likely they do it intentionally so that that there isn't too much time delay between you providing all the documents and becoming documentarily qualified and the interview itself, because the longer the difference between those two dates, obviously the more things can change in that time period. So they want the information kind of fresh. So with that being said, let's take a look at the visa bulletin, because I know your priority date is April 7, 2021. We know that you are in F1. Chargeability area is Philippines. Philippines, they have their own chargeability area. So we're going to take a look. Let's see. So I am assuming your initial priority date, which is the filing date with USCIS, is April 7, 2021. And F1, let's take a look. And let's see, Philippines is showing April 2015. Okay, so if it's showing April 2015, it means that roughly 6 years between what you have, 2021, and April 2015. Okay, what one was it? Okay, so you're also in April 2020. So there is pretty much exactly 6 years difference between what is happening now and your priority date. So a very rough estimate, before you get, before you are allowed the full access to the portal, you're looking at about 6 years. A very rough. And I'm gonna ask you kind of for clarification, if you want me to kind of, double check, so that my rough estimates are a little better than they're a little worse. April 7, 2021 priority date, meaning that this is the date when your I-130 was accepted by USCIS. That is the original priority date, not the documentarily, not approval of USCIS and transferring to the NVC, and for everybody else who's watching, not becoming documentarily qualified. No, priority date is when USCIS have received your application, they accepted the application, and you can find that priority date on the NOR, the notice of receipt from USCIS, saying, hey, we have received your I-130, and the date on this notice of receipt is going to be your priority date. So assuming all of that is the case, and your priority date is April 2021, judging by the visa bulletin, we're still looking at about 6 years before you get the full access to the portal and become documentarily qualified, which is quite a long time, but unfortunately this is what we're dealing with. Plus, whenever it comes to the chargeability areas, as you can see, Philippines, they are 2 years behind all chargeability area. China, India, Mexico. If you look at the Mexico, it becomes crazy because Mexico is 15 years behind. That's crazy. Hopefully this will change. Hopefully something is gonna get better, because this is absolutely horrible. People waiting so long is not fair at all. It's just sad. Every time I look at it, and I look at it every day, and every time I look at it, it just makes me just really sad. All right, let's move on to the next one from Man Brar. Hopefully I'm pronouncing the name correctly. Sorry if I'm not. Sir, I filed petition under F3 category of my married son and daughters on September 2010. My chargeability area is India. How long I wait for welcome letter from NVC? Alrighty, man, thank you very much for your question. Let's take a look. So we know F3. We're looking at the priority dates, graph B, dates of filing with USCIS, F3 category, and we are looking under India. So India right now is showing February 2010, which means the priority dates back that are dated back to February 2010 are just now becoming, are ready for documentarily qualification with the NVC, basically getting ready for that final action. So February 2010, and Mon has September 2010. Okay, so you're also in 2010, which is great. It means that by the end of 2023, definitely you're gonna be moving on further with, becoming documentarily qualified, which is great news. Let's see a little bit more accurate. September 2010, and this is showing February 2010. So let's see, February is 2, September is 9, so about 7 months. So about 7 more months, and you should be seeing some movement. I'm assuming that you haven't received a welcome letter from NVC yet, but I'm assuming that your petition probably by now already should be approved with USCIS, and your case should have been transferred to the NVC. If you want, you can let me know in a follow-up comment. I might be able to give you a little bit more information. And basically what you can let me know is if you already got that limited access to the NVC portal, or have you not heard at all from the NVC. Regardless, whichever the case is, if you have access to the NVC and you log in and you cannot do anything, which would be the case anyway right now, or you never received a welcome letter from NVC at all, or maybe your petition hasn't even been approved by USCIS. Regardless, within the next 7 months, it should be happening. But if you can let me know those things, I might be able to give you some recommendations based on what exactly is going on with your case. So let me put this, and we're gonna move on. Something from Patricia P. Patricia, thank you very much for additional comment. Always appreciate that. Hi, thank you for answering my question concerning the affidavit of support for my daughter who is over 21 and unmarried. I think you misunderstood the info I gave you, since her case is currently at NVC. I see. So it's already done with USCIS. Great. Okay. I filed I-130 petition for her, and her priority date is February 2017. Would I be correct in assuming that her case will be coming up since the May visa bulletin has reached January 2017? in the F1 category. Yes, absolutely 100%. So let me double check that. Let's take a look at the visa bulletin. January 2017 is showing, and she is in February 2017. Yes, so definitely. Definitely should be, let's see, since her case is currently at NVC. That's the reason I asked the question concerning the affidavits of support, so that I can start assembling the documents together. Thanks again. You have been a great help. I tried many others on the internet, and you're the best. You have a way of explaining things effortlessly. You should be an immigrant lawyer. Patricia, thank you very much for your kind words. Appreciate it. I'm sorry if I misunderstood your initial. So you are already done with USCIS, which is great. I always recommend everyone, everyone who is asking me about I-130 petitions, and they're like, oh, I want to start a petition, do this, do that. My immediate response is just do it. Just do it right now. Literally go right now on the internet and submit that I-130 petition. Why? Because it takes so long, and the sooner you start the process, the sooner you get that stuff in motion. Because if you look at the visa bulletin numbers, the dates and numbers of years that people wait to see their family, family. We're not talking about the uncle of an uncle of a brother of a sister. We're talking about your family. And yeah, but yes, Patricia, so January 2017, that's what it's showing for the F1 category on the visa bulletin, and priority date for your daughter is February 2017. So literally within like a month, you should have full access to the NVC portal. And basically once it is open, you will see a few things. There will be the application, the visa application. Basically the same thing. I don't know if you ever dealt with just applying for regular non-immigrant visa. You know how you submitted, I think it's called DS-160 for, basically to go to the interview with US Embassy. This is a similar application, one of them that you will fill out on the NVC portal. Also, there will be an affidavit of support. The initial affidavit of support is going to be in your name, and you will have, I'm pretty sure there is a fee for it that you have to pay. There is also a fee that you have to pay for the application, for that interview application. But if you do eventually need to add the joint sponsors to your application, you don't need to pay anything extra for the joint sponsors, and you can add them. The only thing that you will have to, kind of worry about with joint sponsors is just adding additional financial documents. So if you're providing your tax returns, all the W-2s, all that stuff for yourself as a sponsor, an additional sponsor, you would have to do it all for them. But because in your case, your joint sponsors, if necessary, are your family too, not your friend, because with a friend it's a little bit harder, because now you have to ask them for their personal information, their social security numbers, all the tax documents, and it's a little bit it's personal information. But with a family, you don't worry about it, so it's a little bit easier. But yes, Patricia, it's looks like in your case it's even better. The time is almost here, so good luck with that. And if you can, that would be nice to hear an update on how everything is going and when you actually get the full access to the portal. All right, let's move on to the next one from Chad Leslie. Sorry I didn't give you all the information. No worries, Chad, no worries at all. I'm F3 priority date March 2011. My case is at NVC, and I have a KNG number, case number. I think it's for Kingston, Jamaica. Will I get a call from them before March, or the process will complete by March 2011? Thanks again, sir. Okay, so let's take a look at the F3. If you're, Kingston, Jamaica, then it's all chargeability. Priority date March 2011. Let's see what we have for F3 right now. February 2010. Okay, and you're March 2011. So you're just 1 year, basically, from getting a full access to the NVC portal. I'm assuming you probably already have. Yeah, you do have the case. Your case is at NVC. So USCIS already approved your case, which is great. You already can log into the NVC portal, but probably, just like Patricia, you're not able to do anything on the NVC portal because it's still limited access. And judging by what the visa bulletin is showing us, roughly you are looking at about 1 year. Roughly about 1 year before you can get the full access to the NVC portal to complete your documentary qualification. All right, let's move on to our last question comment for today from Shabnam Amini. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name. Last year I applied for asylum and it is almost 150 days. Do I still come under the C8 category? Okay, so if you're still in that pending asylum category, yes, definitely. If your asylum, if basically you applied for the asylum, right? It's been 150 days and there was no decision that was made on the asylum case, you did not receive any kind of notices, like for example, notice of intent to deny that you have to rebuttal, for example, some kind of interview notice or some kind of decision that was made. If none of that happened and the application for asylum is still pending, then yes, you are in C8 category, which is pending asylum. I came as a J1 student, graduated in May 2022, got a job and was working as an academic trainee, AT. J1 academic trainee is a type of campus employment that is directly related to your major area of study. That's actually really nice. I did not know that. Academic training. That's really cool. J1 AT is designed to allow you to apply the knowledge and skills you learned at school. Second, I cannot send my application online. When I click on the link, it is taking me to my profile page. Okay, so Shabnam, I'm assuming if it takes you to your profile page, then you already have the online account with USCIS. So basically, when you log into your online account with USCIS, and I've logged in probably, last time I logged into my account was probably like 2 weeks ago. I don't think nothing changed, but basically you have the home icon on your profile page, a home icon. When you go to the home icon, you will see that there is a drop down for all of the forms, and you can select whichever form that you want to start filling out online. Select the form, whatever form. I'm assuming, I'm not assuming, I actually probably, I'm positive that you're trying to apply for the, employment authorization, I-765. So it should be there in the drop down. Just select it and then it will allow you to start that application. So give that a shot and hopefully that works for you. All right, the third, for item number 14, I selected no. The next item asked me to skip to part 2 in case the answer is no. Now there are some blank spaces between the item number 14, part 2, 15, 18. Should I put not applicable in the spaces provided? I will greatly appreciate your help. Thank you very much. You're very welcome. Let's take a look. I'm going to open the PDF document for I-765 and we'll take a look, and might as well use this as an opportunity to demonstrate some navigation again on USCIS website. So we're gonna go and click on forms right here at the very top of the navigation menu, and then we're gonna click on all forms, and then you can scroll down and find 765, or we just type in 765 and it comes up. There we go, available to file online. And forms and documents, here we go. This is a PDF document that we need. The question we have is about item number 14. Let's take a look, scroll down to number 14. Do you want the SSA to issue you a social security card? You must also answer yes to item number 15. If you answer no to item number 14, skip to part 2, which starts right here. Okay, your country and countries of citizenship or nationality. Let's see. If you answer no to skip to part 2, number 18A. If you answer yes to number 14, you must also answer yes to item number 15. Okay, so if you're answering no, I'm assuming that you already have a social security number. And you probably already do because you were as a J1 and then you were also a trainee. And I'm pretty sure both of these statuses, let's just call them that, they do require social security number. So I think you already have the social security number, so yes, you will be selecting no here. You will be selecting, well, actually you don't even need to select anything here, but I would select no just in case here. Father's name, mother's name, yes, that is specifically for the purposes of social security. I would not leave them blank just in case, and I wouldn't put not applicable. Just put your father's name and mother's name just in case. Again, because this is a physical. Here's the thing that for everyone who's watching, I think it might be helpful. The reason why USCIS is so picky about the blank spaces in the applications, and they send them back. And I get comments. I got a lot of comments already, and I've seen many times these applications come back, physical applications, specifically because there was a blank space. Most likely, and I'd say I'm probably like 90% sure of that, is that USCIS want to prevent as much as possible some things from someone being added to the application. All right, so let's say if you leave this blank, you know, on a paper application, literally anybody can take up your paper application and fill it out with some other information that you don't want that there to be. Again, here you cannot say not applicable. It wouldn't make sense because, you know, you do have father's name, you do have mother's name. In that case, just put it here. Yes, it's not applicable. Yes, it's not going to do anything. But still, you know, it's better to put it here. Same thing with your country or countries or citizenship or nationalities. What did they say? Skip to 18A? Yeah, so skip to part 2, number 18A. So you're skipping to this. But yeah, I would recommend putting in the father's and mother's name, just in case, to be on the safe side. Because not applicable doesn't really make sense here. But you don't need a social security number, plus you will be providing your existing social security number here, so they will be able to understand. But again, Shabnam, if you can figure out the way to file that application online application takes care of all these questions like that. You know, you don't need to worry about stuff like this in the online application. So if you can figure out the way to do it, I would recommend doing it online. Makes it much easier, prevents mistakes. And USCIS, as soon as you pay for it, it is immediately submitted and it is immediately at USCIS. So you don't have to worry about mailing that stuff too. So thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully you found my answers helpful. If you have any follow-up questions, do not hesitate to ask them in the comments below. I'm happy to receive more questions. The more, the better. You know, more questions allow me to do these videos, so I'm always grateful for them. Thank you very much for your time. God bless, and I will see you in the next video.